Can you watch it? See, am I in frame?
Yeah. Yeah. It's cool.
Well, go on, people. Thanks for clicking the video. If you like what you see, like and subscribe to the channel. It is much appreciated. Since the events of 2020, the world has ironically been moving at an ever-increasing speed, and we have had to adapt to changes in our lifestyle that most of us may not have anticipated. But some of the developments that have risen out of the shadows in recent times have the potential to redefine what it actually means to have, well, potential. A new age is forming right in front of our eyes, and most of humanity hasn't quite realized what is headed their way. Neural networks are data models that attempt to replicate or imitate the processes of how a natural brain and its neurons communicate. This network is then trained by algorithms to learn from repeated requests or tasks to increase its level of understanding of what it is trained to learn, without context. Y'all know about GPT already. It was unleashed into the world on late November 2022, gaining 1 million users in its first week after launch. And it currently has over 100 million active users signed in to its services. Oh my god! But what's interesting is how GPT trains itself through experience. OpenAI, the formerly non-profit organization behind the project, collects data from GPT users to train and fine-tune the service further. Users can then upvote or downvote responses they receive from ChatGPT and fill out a text field with additional feedback. But ChatGPT has the capability to improve on its previous input when it is asked to do so. And to add fuel to the ever-growing fire, there are rumors that ChatGPT 5 is already in the works to be released at the end of 2022. I don't know about you, but the fact that an exponentially improved version of such a powerful tool is already in the works, let alone set to be released in the same year, as its predecessor, is gravely side-eye inducing. Speaking of side-eyes, an open letter was signed by figures such as Musk, no perfume, to cancel all training of AI systems for 6 months. The question to ask ourselves is, why only 6 months? And what do they know that we don't?
Do your shoe sewing. Do your shoe sewing
Nah,
too.
I'll walk this way.
Yeah. This is lit.
On the 4th of May 2023, a letter written by an employee at Google was leaked to the public, and the details it shares are concerning. Points were made at the mind-blowing speed that open source AI models are advancing. Running highly capable AI on mobile phone hardware, customizing AI is now being done by everyday people on a laptop within a day. It also mentions that open source software free to use by the general public is performing at similar levels to ChatGPT and Google's own AI models. Most importantly, a problem called the scaling problem was considered to have been solved to the extent that anyone can tinker customized AI models to the best of their ability within 24 hours using only one person, an evening, and a beefy laptop. Many of the new ideas that have been open for people to try have been coming from ordinary people. The barrier to entry for experimentation and training has dropped to the point where almost anyone can basically train up their own customizable AI.
Right now, we're at a fork in the road. This is the most important fork that humanity has reached in its over 100,000 years on this planet. We're building effectively a new species that's smarter than us. We now live in a country where there's much more hate, in the world where there's much more hate, in fact. And in our democracy that we're having this conversation and people can't even agree on who won the last election, you know. And we humans often point fingers at other humans and say it's their fault. But it's really Moloch and these AI algorithms. Oh my!
The year 1971. In the era of the American dream, the years looked golden. The income of most walks of life were increasing at a steady pace, and dreams of growth were affordable. Then, on the 15th of August 1971, President Nixon delivered a shock to the system.
The strength of a nation's currency is based on the strength of that nation's economy. And the American economy is by far the strongest in the world. Accordingly, I have directed the Secretary of the Treasury to take the action necessary to defend the dollar against the speculators. I have directed Secretary Connally to suspend temporarily the convertibility of the dollar into gold or other reserve assets, except in amounts and conditions determined to be in the interest of monetary stability and in the best interest of the United States. If you want to buy a foreign car or take a trip abroad, market conditions may cause your dollar to buy slightly less.
Also known as inflation.
But if you are among the overwhelming majority of Americans who buy American-made products in America, your dollar will be worth just as much tomorrow as it is today.
So, let me show you something that might help you if you're saving or investing for the long term. In 1971, the price of gold was around $42. But with Nixon's announcement came more demand to hold gold instead of the US currency, which drove up the price. Today, the same amount is worth over $2,000. Now, this comes after 2008 when there was a big jump in inflation, and this trend is likely to continue. And it's also the same story with silver. In 1971, the price of an ounce of silver was only $1.32, increasing over time to currently around $33, reaching a peak of around $46 in 2011.
I guess even though we were free, we were still slaves in the mind. Nasty! 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 Nasty!
As the world witnessed the crowning of a new monarch, there are signs that this event may be more than what it seemed on the inside. Katy Perry's necklace had a strong Saturnian vibe. The coronation throne had a pyramid of influence on it. A strange hooded figure came by for early Halloween rehearsals, and Camilla's bracelet was either seen worn upside down or on the wrong side. King Charles has been heavily connected to the World Economic Forum. Before a speech he made, a map of the United Kingdom was shown connected with the world in digital form, and then Charles was crowned with the 17 colours of the 2030 agenda. This visual storyboard was possibly letting us know that with Charles being made king, we were going to enter into a new era of human history, where the very foundation of what it means to be human will be reimagined and redefined socially, technologically, and biologically. This is Spectrums, and thank you for watching.